We're live, Brian.
We are indeed, yeah.
I think we had started the podcast before it started.
Yeah, we
recording.
got overexcited. Next time I won't arrive so early.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I was really looking forward today because obviously we got introduced to Liam Swords, a mutual friend. Yeah. And I remember I was just telling you before we started, when I left the meeting, when I met you, I said to Liam, wow, this guy's going places. So I was really impressed with your energy and where you're going. So I was, when you agreed to come on the podcast, I think it's great. So we can get a bit of that out and get people to know you. And I think it's anytime I get a chance to interact with somebody who's moving and shaking,
yeah,
I'll take advantage of it. So
yeah, well, it's good to be here on this one. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm glad to know I made the right first impression. So
yeah, I know. I mean, I could
talk a big game at least.
Yeah, no, but I mean, obviously the business component, but I mean, attitude and your energy and your positive attitude, like it just shines through. So yeah. It's
well, we're lucky to do what we're doing. It's fun.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So, Brian, obviously you are, is it part owner or owner of Panda Insulation?
Part owner of Panda Insulation, myself and one business partner, a very close friend of mine. He's doesn't work in the company day to day. He's kind of at the behind the scenes, top level. Yeah. Big visionary in terms of where we want to go, what we want to do.
Yeah.
And then I'm there to implement as best I can, I will say.
And he's the next one you want me to meet.
Yeah, I definitely 100%.
I look forward to meeting him, because now you sold him too.
Yeah, that's good.
So let's you were saying you were in the fitness industry before. Back up a bit and explain to us, like how
did I fall into this?
How did you get into insulation?
That's a weird one.
Yeah.
No, but I moved to Canada.
Being born is weird.
Yeah, I know it is. It's strange that any of us are here in the first place.
Yeah.
We won't go that direction today.
No. We'll stick to business.
Yeah. So I got offered a job in Canada, 2000.
Because you were from Ireland.
Born and raised in Ireland. Yeah.
Okay.
Came here, did an internship once upon a time as part of my undergrad. I was in kinesiology, similar to what it is here. Sport and exercise sciences. Loved it. Was at a private sports science lab that worked with a couple of different NHL teams, Team Canada, Arctic expedition work, got into some occupational physiology, like fitness testing for paramedics, firefighters, police, even got into projects like evacuation procedures for nuclear power plants, stuff like this. So
no way.
Really fun sports physiology side of things. Big chunk of endurance coaching, like cycling and marathoning and so on. And then working with young kids on fitness. Was there for 7 years and then went back to school, did a master's in...
So this was all in Canada?
This was in Canada.
Okay.
Yeah. Went to Ottawa and jumped on a master's program in kinesiology with focusing on thermophysiology. Actually ended up walking away from that, but that was my kind of first exposure to heat transfer.
Okay.
So hot and cold exposure in humans. So a lot of that cold, you see all the cold exposure stuff now, like ice baths, all that side of things. There's a phenomenal lab at Ottawa, a couple of them actually.
Okay.
Both on heat exposure and on cold exposure. All my research was with the Canadian Armed Forces looking at preventing heat illness.
Preventing heat illness.
Yeah, so you're doing a 5K ruck and you've got 75-pound pack on and you're not allowed to roll your sleeves up because you're doing the fitness component and it's 32 degrees, feels like 47, right? Like we had last week.
Yeah.
How long, what can we ask of people before we risk them keeling over, right? Because you're producing all this heat, it's hot, it's humid, so you can't dissipate heat. And all of a sudden, core temperature starts to rise, and you're exercising. So eventually, performance drops. So
of course,
at the time, they were reevaluating the fitness protocol for the test, fitness test protocol. So everyone was going to have to do this test. They needed to know when they could run.
When
they would stop this fitness testing. Then we did some fun cold bath stuff as well, like an hour a day. It was the worst thing I've ever been part of. But it was
the worst.
Yeah, it was
subjecting yourself to winter.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. I love being on the team.
Yeah,
that's all great. And then you got to sit down in front of an Excel spreadsheet essentially and analyze the data.
Sure.
And I like working with people.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Started teaching at Algonquin College in the fitness program there.
You were teaching?
Yeah, a
Okay.
little bit there. So it was like researching, teaching there, and doing like personal training at that point as well. Working crazy hours, but spinning your wheels a little bit.
Okay.
So after a while, left all of that behind. Just was struggling with the working 12 hours a day for 6 hours pay sort of thing, you know,
Sure.
like where like it's just not economical. I'm like, okay, can you raise a family going this route? The answer was no. Great time in that industry, great experiences, but didn't want to be in academia.
Okay.
Didn't want to continue in the fitness industry, so pivoted, got into residential sales and kind of with insulation. Worked at a company there, and
like selling specifically insulation.
Insulation
for homes.
HVAC as well.
Oh, in HVAC, okay.
Small amount of it. Small company. I wouldn't say many people would know. I won't speak ill of it, but kind of looked at it and was like, hey, like this is a really inefficient business, you know, just in terms of like how, like looking at it from like, I didn't know my backside from my elbow in terms from a business standpoint, but it just, to me, it screamed inefficient. So learned some of the trade insights there in terms of like, you know, the technical specifications.
When you say efficiency, you mean from selling or for installation?
Just from absolutely everything. Culture was terrible. Like, you know, organization, management, all of that, like just wasn't where I wanted to be.
Yep.
And chatting with my now business partner at the time, he was like, well, he's like, you can kind of put up or shut up. Like, if you think you're going to do better, go do it. And that's kind of where the genesis, and it's a valid point. Like, it's great to sit there and moan about why you can do it better. It's like,
what do they say about it? They say people who complain are people who think there's something better out there, but won't do anything about it.
So he's
like, are you going to complain, Brian? Or are you going to do something about it?
Yeah, exactly. That was pretty much it.
I love that.
You know, and so we started chatting then, kind of spitballing, and from there we brought in one other business partner then at the time, kicked off what's now Panda, and haven't really looked back since.
Nice.
Yeah. So
nice.
A bit of a roundabout.
And Panda, so obviously you had all your experience with human kinesiology, all of that, human fitness, all of that. That wasn't really interesting to you, but then went into HVAC and insulation, then realized there may be something there. So obviously you come in with a lot of the...
I love the fitness industry.
Yeah. Right? Yeah, but you can't make a living at it. Or
you know, and it's also, becomes like the best thing about that is you're the best part of people's day. If you're doing like personal training, you are literally the best part of someone's day. Like, you know, they're paying to come in here at 5:30 in the morning. Like, they 100%. Want to be here. So that's a really fun side of it. Getting into the business side, it was just, hey, this is actually something we analyzed competitors, looked at a market. Yeah. I'm like, I think there's room to like build something here. You know, you're not creating something new. It's an existing service that there's clearly a demand for. 100%. So let's try and go this route. So it just kind of fell into it on that.
That is interesting.
My business partner at the time, like, he's like, Brian, he's like, he's like, the wealthiest people I know are in tech. Yep. The consistently wealthy people are in the trades.
Interesting.
You know? So he's like, as we're like discussing and like trying to figure out what route we go, because we're going around, he's like, that's an industry where we could probably make our mark. And then having the scientific background in terms of like heat transfer and how all that works made it pretty easy to pick up on like building envelope science and to be able to communicate with, you know, experienced project managers or engineers or architects, at least that you've got a common language that you all speak. Yep. So it made it a little bit easier to transition. Yeah. Which was just kind of fun.
It's you could, I mean, I don't know, people will feel the passion because obviously that's in you, but it's great. But it's fun. Yeah. So you decide to start a company and then what? Like, what are the first steps?
So we bought a truck. Just, you know, through a friend of a friend kind of thing. Bought an attic insulation truck.
Like blown out,
blown in. So it was like, we were looking, it's like, okay, well, I don't have the skill set for spray foam. I don't have batten poly experience. We don't have the relationships there to do houses. At the time, the Greener Homes program, which was the federal rebate program, was running. And I learned how to do attics at the previous job.
You mean like top up for energy efficiency?
Like retrofits for energy efficiency. So we bought an attic truck, got one helper, got a website going, got a mediocre logo made, we'll say. And then Panda, we named the company Panda and just started doing advertising on. Actually, it wasn't even advertising online. It was just all relationships. It was just, we're asking friends and family essentially, hey, you got this going. Would you like to do?
Yeah, because at the time, was that when you'd get an energy audit of the house and then get it topped up and get credit on the service? Is that
exactly that? So got into doing that. I would visit all these people, do the job, like, so basically visit them, quote it, come back, do the work, then ask for a
sell and like quote, sell and do the work.
Gotta love it. Yeah, it was really fun.
Gotta love it. Yeah,
it was because you got to. It's like otherwise, what? So started out just doing blown in attic retrofits. Driving around in like an unbranded van, all of that. Like we had a parking lot behind a derelict building in Westboro, and I had a mail forwarding address for like a diamond storage unit. And I was like, okay, we got a business here. Let's start going.
That's how a lot of them start, right?
Yeah, so exactly. So,
and why Panda? I'm curious.
It's my business partner, Dore.
Oh, okay.
Named it.
Okay.
When we were toying around with names, I didn't want comfort. I didn't want enviro. I didn't want plus. I didn't want green.
Yeah.
Didn't want polar.
Different.
Didn't want northern. Right? It's just because like there's a whole anything to do with heating and cooling industry.
Yeah.
It's a blue and red logo, half snowflake, half flame.
Yeah.
And everything gets lost in the wash.
That's right. Everybody's doing the same thing. Yeah.
Growing up in Ireland, everything's Murphy and Sons or Kelly Brothers or Kehoe Brothers, right? Which are, because you're like, so it's like, we need a name that's going to be easily identifiable.
Yep.
And it's going to be able to build I want that name to become affiliated with that service in your city.
Yep.
And I don't want it to be localized to Ottawa.
Yeah.
So we're toying around a bunch.
That's awesome.
Because I don't know how big we want to go with this.
Absolutely.
Right? I definitely don't want to pigeonhole ourselves.
Absolutely.
So then that came up. It was like on a list of. I was like, I love Panda. I'm like, it's warm feeling. It's non-threatening.
Yep.
It's friendly. It feels trustworthy.
Yeah.
It doesn't exist. If you look up Panda Ottawa, it's going to be the only thing that comes up on Google AdWords, right? So it's
smart.
And then a big driving factor in it was nobody trusts mechanics and nobody trusts contractors, right? Like that's the same.
In some
like
cases,
or everyone has the horror story,
of course.
So I'm like, okay, how can I start building a brand here that screams we are trustworthy? It's like, and that comes down to the colors you choose, the name that you pick. And then after that, it's like, okay, your reputation starts to build up from there. But we didn't even have a reputation to begin with, right?
But you got to start somewhere.
Exactly.
Those are like the best stories, right?
So that was how kind of Panda, the name, came about. Yeah. And then the longer it goes on now, the more I love it.
Yeah. And when did you guys, like, when did you officially start? Like from deciding we're doing this? Like when was that?
What did we now? 2022 maybe?
Okay.
I think. Yeah.
Maybe you guys come a long way.
Maybe end of 2021. I'm trying to remember now. It's all a blur. Yeah. We were trying to move pretty fast.
Nice.
Yeah. We kicked off, it was just residential retrofit, and now we're kind of continuing to scale and add more service offerings as we go.
Yeah.
Without letting those drop, because it's easy to pivot to something bigger or better what you see, and then it's like you're doing the same amount of work, you've added a new service, but you're still making the same amount of money across the board. That's the issue. You might as well just stay in the one that you had built out initially.
Exactly. Yeah. But what I like one of the things I like the most about your story, and this is what left me, and you said it before we started the podcast again, is that even though it's you're only several years in, the vision is to scale, the vision is to grow. You're building it on a platform where you'll be able to be exponentially bigger, because you're doing the base properly when it comes to accounting, CFO, all that good stuff. AI, you're saying
we were chatting about that before,
and I think that's brilliant, because I think most small businesses, they don't think of that. And for you to have a partner that kind of says, "Hey,
I'd love to take all the credit for it."
No, but I mean, whoever gets the credit doesn't matter, right? The reality is that if you're building it that way to start, then you're setting yourself up to not having those pains as you go up. Because once you start scaling, and you lose control. But if you have those systems in place, so I don't know if you want to go into that. I think it's brilliant.
I think it makes sense. Sometimes we kind of look at things like, when I get to X size, I'm going to introduce this. I'm going to go back and fix all of this. from the get-go, like my business partner's like, no, he's like, imagine this is a $10 million a year business. Okay, how would that business run? You'd have quarterly.
Anybody listening, listen to this. This is
he's like, you'll have
pearls right here.
You'd have quarterly business reviews. You're going to have a dedicated finance team. You're going to have dedicated sales reporting. You're going to have team meetings every single week, right? So like from day one, every Monday since the day we decided to start, we have a shareholders meeting, and that's
a shareholders meeting.
Yeah. So there's only the two of us, right? So
fair enough.
So what that is that's
touch base.
That is a very top level meeting for our managers and our ownership team, where we look at, okay, like revenue for the last week, forecast for the upcoming weeks. We have all these scorecard items that we want to look at, like how many total homes were, like how many total house visits did you have? How many total estimates went out? And we want to look at conversion rates. We want to look at, staff issues and so on.
But all of this data that you're capturing is it automated? Like how do you?
Primarily automated.
Okay. So then that way you're not going through, I have 10 deals here.
No. You gotta really, so right away we jump on like some sort of CRM tool.
Yeah.
Right. So you can look at, okay, total, like we want to be able to just automatically input all of that information, or at least have it all readily accessible.
Well, that's for efficiency and accuracy, right? Because if you're doing it manually or everybody's opinion, then you're just getting everybody's opinion, but you're getting the real hard data.
Exactly.
Is my understanding of how you guys set that up in the beginning, and that makes a big difference.
Pretty simple to obtain it,
No, I know, but what I'm saying is that if you with that data, you can make informed decisions that are based on accurate information.
Exactly.
Because a lot of times when you get into meetings, they're assumptions.
Well, I'm a sales guy too, right? So I'll blow smoke up your backside about like how hard I'm working, and and it's like, and we'll see it now. It's like, hey, we're doing this, and this, and and we're all doing great. Well, why is the conversion rate down? Why is the revenue not where it's supposed to be if we're all doing so great? So it avoids the BS of that. It's like, it's not personal. It's like, hey, let's look at the business critically. We can acknowledge what's going well. And we drive positive focus is at the core of our business. Like every meeting starts off with positive focuses from every single staff member. And then you get into, okay, here's the reality. Here's where.
And you guys do like a virtual meeting, or like try to do a face-to-face?
So we try to be face-to-face every Monday. Like my business partner may not be in, but myself and the management team will be sitting in together. So we've done that meeting every week since day one.
Nice.
And then you look at, what are your goals for the year? What do we need to obtain? So if that's buy a new truck, where's that written down? What are all the steps to get there? Get an estimate, get a competing estimate, so that that in 5 years' time, if I want to be here, well, each week I've taken some sort of step towards that. Otherwise, you just kind of sit and stagnate. And we see it, and we've seen it in ourselves, where like, for 3-4 weeks we don't push things forward.
It's human nature.
We're just the exact same. It's
human nature.
It's not because you're not busy, and it's not because you're not working hard. It's that you're not dedicating time to those specific facets or goals within the company.
And you find that when that happens, is because you're too busy, or no, or what's that?
Just being too busy. It's what it is for me. I'll tell you exactly.
No, because when we deal with other business people, that's a lot of times what ends up happening. Get busy.
We get busy,
and those things get put on the back burner. As opposed to always making sure that they're front and center, even if you're busy or not, right? So I was just curious.
So it's funny, like when I started out, I was so adverse to work. I'm like, I have too many emails. Like, dude, it takes 10 minutes just to rattle off 20 emails. Like there's no so that, or in the evenings. One of the things I had to get around was working really hard on all the things I like and want to do. Because I'll fill my schedule with all the stuff I enjoy. And then I'll skip the 3 items that take 20 minutes that are going to drive the business forward. Maybe because I'm afraid of that. I'm nervous of growing. I don't feel like I'm capable of it, whatever it might be. These are the limiting beliefs. These are the things that will actually drive my business forward. Instead of focusing on those, I'm going to work really hard on these things over here that I enjoy doing and I'm confident with and I feel safe.
Interesting.
So having a weekly level 10 meeting is what we call it, like having
like an EOS
Yeah. Love. We try to implement as much of that as possible.
Is that right? Okay. As I was going to say, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, we always, yeah.
Level 10 is that lingo.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So that's like that whole like traction rocket fuel.
I just finished reading the book. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's that is basically the cornerstone of our how we kind of look at scaling and running.
Interesting. Yeah.
Highly recommend it to anybody.
That's powerful. Yeah.
It's awesome. So those meetings allow us to like hold each individual team member accountable to their responsibilities, and also it holds, it's better for them and it's better for me, because like I'll be driving around to meetings all day. I feel like I'm great.
Yep.
Right. And I get home at the end of the day and I feel like I'm accomplished. It's like, hey, did you send an email response thanking someone for that meeting? What's the next stage of that? And then did you also address the other things that are also your responsibility? Whereas if you just look at your staff, if you sit your staff member down and you start critiquing all the stuff they missed, I'm like, yeah, but I was busy and I was doing all this. I'm like, yeah, well, I'm not discrediting that, but here are the targets you need to hit.
That's right.
You know, if they're not hit next week, we're going to talk about it.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, people like targets and people tend to hit them,
myself
included, you know. But
of course,
it does get busy.
Yeah.
It does get busy out there and it's easy, but.
No, I always laugh because when I was having a similar conversation last week with somebody else in business, and the reality is when it gets busy, the issue is that a lot of times those things that you need to keep chipping away at, they take the wayside unless you make them a priority, like you're suggesting, right? So if you're making it a priority on the Monday to have those discussions and use it as a level 10 meeting where you're just making it's not judgmental.
It's hard.
But I know it's hard. But if you're able to be disciplined enough to do that and then work towards that, that's where the magic happens, right?
Exactly.
And consistency.
And that's what makes it fun. Then when you like, this is way more fun for me when I see that. Hey, we just bought a spray foam truck. Oh, look, we're pivoting into this service offering. Like that's really exciting and fun. You know, like what's not fun is sitting there and feeling like I'm working really hard. And not seeing any growth.
Of course.
That's not as enjoyable.
Of course.
We've been lucky, I would say, that we tend to hire and make the jump before we're ready. You know, so like, you know, so if I use like from the beginning when I was in the truck doing sales and doing installs, well, in order for me to get more sales, I need to be out of the truck.
Right.
So now I'm hiring a guy who's coming in on a salary. That I can't really afford. So it's like, okay, we're putting him in the truck. That means now you've got 20 hours a week. You've gone from 20 hours a week of sales to 40 hours a week of sales. You better make sure that this guy is busy enough because he's got a mortgage to pay.
Of course.
And you need to be able to afford to keep him. So so there's a bit of time where you have to risk it. And you know that, hey, we're not ready for this guy, but the only way we're going to make it work is if I free up my time.
And those decisions, I'm curious, like a decision to do that, is that you deciding, your business partner, or you in tandem? Like how do you decide to say, we're going to go to the next step regardless of us?
So I usually defer to this, like my business partner. I cannot speak highly enough about this.
No, that's fair. But that's a mindset thing, right? To think.
So he would tell me, he's like, Brian, you need to run head first at that wall and believe that it's going to get out of your way.
Nice.
That's kind of like how he looks at it.
I love it. I love it.
But from the decision, it's like, because you see, it's like, because we track, we track everything week over week. So we can see how many visits you need to make in order to make a sale, right? So what percentage of all visits turn? So it's like, okay, so if I need to see 50 people to sell 25. Okay, so now I know if I'm only seeing 20, I'm only converting 10.
Right.
If I need to double that, there's a few things you can do on conversion. So we had those numbers when it was just me. We knew like, hey, for every 3 people I see, we get a sale. Okay, so now if we double the amount of people that I see, that pays for a new employee. So you're not going in blind.
No, of course not.
You know, but,
but I mean, I can sympathize with the fact that when you're doing that jump, it's not a jump you're making because now we can't supply. It's a jump that you're making in anticipation that the flow will continue. It's a different thing.
Exactly. Right? It's a little bit different. Like, we kind of know what your baseline now is.
Right.
And then you know where you believe where you think you can get it. Like you got realistic numbers.
Of course.
On it, so you can see, and then it's also a bit of just like pray, like just go for it.
It's an informed risk. I think it's a controlled.
definitely wouldn't have happened if we didn't take the step, right? So
Yeah,
that's the
yeah,
one
yeah,
guarantee. It's like, it's, you're better off making that step, trying it out, knowing that you're doing your best at it.
Yeah.
And if you need to step back, then step back. Like
Yeah.
that's how we will look at it. But,
So that's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. So right now with Panda, like who's your perfect client avatar right now? Like who are you targeting in terms of clients?
So that's kind of changed over the last.
Of course it will,
probably
because
even
from now
changed.
because
It's
last time
changed.
we met, it may have changed.
Yeah,
That's why I'm asking it again.
Like right now, we're very kind of involved in the custom home side of things.
Sure.
I think that's a really nice niche for us to be in, because you got a great group of builders around Ottawa. Like there's hundreds of them, it seems, who build high quality homes, and what they're screaming out for is trades that are highly communicative, dependable. We were talking about, like, is being the guys who deliver bad news.
Yep.
Right. So like these people who are
we'll go into that, because
in terms of the avatar, people who are building 4 to 20 homes a year, who are looking.
So small builders, custom builders. More so.
Yeah.
Okay.
We do everything full service in-house now, which is kind of nice. So you're not subcontracting things out.
So everything related to insulation, like walls, roofs.
Yeah. So we do full service. So like anything related to exterior walls, roofs, floors. So spray foam, bats, poly, blown in. We offer things like cellulose, soundproofing, air sealing, fireproofing.
Okay.
Mostly on that custom home side of things. We do some small scale commercial, so like multi-unit residential buildings or duplex conversion, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But that's where we're primarily kind of situated at the moment, is servicing that clientele.
And you were saying that you want to be the guy that can deliver the bad news, and I understand that from business to business. Go into that, because I think that's a huge. You can be the best price, you can be, the nicest trucks, whichever. Yeah. But if the person hiring you, whether it's developer or whoever, can't trust that they can lean on you if things go sideways, things do go sideways from time to time. So go into that, because I thought that was a really interesting angle.
It was a really good piece of advice given to me. I'm trying to remember who gave it to. Someone in the industry that I was introduced to, because getting into the industry, I was quite avoidant in terms of like avoiding conflict, and then also a big pleaser.
Yeah.
Didn't want to tell you what you want to hear, because I want you to think I'm capable and so on. And then learning that, no, like, hey, be the guy who picks up the phone to deliver bad news. Hey man, Dan, you're gonna not love me today. Our truck broke down. We're not going to be on site for at least a day and a half.
Yeah.
Now you can at least plan around that.
Of course.
What I was hardwired to do when I started out was, I'm just not going to show up, and I'll be there in a day and a half, and hopefully Dan won't be too pissed off. Right? That's such a terrible,
which is what most would
which do. Is common, right?
Which is,
we see it all the time.
It is an easy route to take.
Yeah, it is. It's simple, and it's so. What I realized, most people are pretty kind and genuine. Like, I've been lucky enough to travel all over the world and met a lot of people. Most people are bloody awesome. And we're all kind of working on the same goal here, which is to complete these projects or whatever else. Anytime I've called to deliver the news that, hey, we're behind schedule, hey, we found this defect, hey, we're not going to be on site. Yeah. It's always met with, sometimes they take a hairdryer, but most of the time it's like, it's pretty good.
But it's as a business owner, I think you'd appreciate dealing with somebody that takes that approach that you're just describing, as opposed to not showing up and then trying to call and he doesn't answer his call for 2 days.
So how often do I hear that? Like, oh, my electrician's not answering the phone.
Right.
It's like,
so they see my number calling.
Yeah. So be that guy who delivers the bad news, and then also be like accountable to that. So like, if I got to be out till midnight on a Saturday night doing spray foam to catch our crew up, so be it.
Like, we had to reschedule our podcast.
Yeah, that's right. Indeed.
Because your first one, you're like, man, I'm sorry. I forget if somebody was, somebody was.
We just had a guy call in sick. So all of a sudden we got to get out. So it's it's like, hey, like, you're showing your client that they're a priority. Right. And it's not, hey, sorry, we're not going to be there. Too bad. Right. Like, let's admit that, like, there's an issue here, and then find the solution. People just want to know that you're easy to work with. Right. That's what makes it pleasant.
And they can depend on you.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, that's awesome.
That way, then you don't have to chase work all the time, like that, because they want good trades. They want to be taken care of.
Absolutely.
Right. So if you're
Absolutely.
the guy who can take care of them, that's when you're getting the call. You're not competing with other businesses now for estimates anymore. They know that you are their guy. And that's what I like. People. I like relationships. So that's
Yeah,
what I find that we're growing well.
Yeah, I know that. Good for you. I listen, from my experience, I would say that would be the type of relationship I'd want, hiring a company, regardless of, you know, any bad news coming in. Just tell us about it so we can, like you say,
It's not always bad. It sounds like it's always bad news.
No, but I mean, delivering the good news is easy.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
But the bad news and then having a solution or how you're going to remedy the issue, I think is hugely beneficial, right, in that relationship. So kudos to you for recognizing that. So, and then when, you know, is there, when somebody's selecting the services, say of insulation, is there different levels of, or is it pretty standard?
So
it's just like a blown attic or whichever?
It varies, right? So like if we'll kind of just pigeonhole, I think, on custom homes, because there's a lot of different kind of services in that, like from, you know, is there a bedroom over the garage that's going to need insulation, like spray foam or basement rims, like so there's a lot of, it's multifaceted in terms of what you're providing. I mean, first and foremost, we're a little bit beholden to whatever the architect says.
Sure.
So like they're going to price, they're going to build out their specs for this house. We'll typically price off that, but again, they're human. They might have overlooked something. So my job with a PM is like, hey, this calls for, you know, fiberglass, or it doesn't call for soundproofing. It's a downstairs powder room next to your dining room. You might want to consider soundproofing that so that people can excuse themselves and go to the washroom when you've guests over for dinner, and you don't have to worry that you can hear them. Of
course.
Yeah. So
but
we look at the project like these are beautiful homes. Typically they're forever home, right? So absolutely, I want to make sure that we're delivering a product that is going to be unseen in terms of like, they're not even going to have questioned, like, should they have made these upgrades or not?
Sure.
So, you know, price according to the architect, meet with the project managers, make sure that, like, you know, you're delivering the appropriate insulation for, well, you have to deliver to code, but for what the client wants. And then I do like to meet with the client themselves typically.
Sure.
Just to educate and empower them to make whatever upgrades might be available. I know my business partner, like when he built in Westboro, he's like, Brian, he's like, I wish somebody came along and told me that, like, you know, we should have probably insulated between the bedrooms, you know, we should have insulated the floor so that I can't hear my kids running around upstairs. You can't go back and fix that retroactively.
You can't, but it's expensive.
Yeah, it is. You know, it's a nuisance. So it's basically just trying to deliver an end product that, like, you can be proud of, but also that, like, the client is going to be very happy with whatever was delivered. Insulation. A lot of it's the world's easiest.
So a lot of that, so a lot of the time it becomes, again, it comes back to the same thing about relationships, and then trying to you know, give the people, empower them to make those decisions based on what you're seeing. I mean, obviously understanding there's limitations if, you know, the architect has designed it in a certain way where there's limitations of what you can do. But I find it interesting that you point out something as important and as, you know, a minute detail as having a powder room next to a dining room and having insulation may perhaps being considered to be different than
it's just
than
a
the rest.
simple one, right? Because
I think it's fantastic.
Budgets are a thing,
of course,
right? You know, and it's, you know, if you start adding up, like, you know, it can get pretty expensive before the drywall goes on, right? And if you're thinking about what countertops you're going to put in, and that's because that's what I want to see at the end.
Of course, right? I won't see the insulation, but I may appreciate it once.
You know, or like, a big one is master bedroom is over the garage.
But if the master bedroom is over the garage, you have to spray the garage for fumes.
So for fume, but also you got an unheated garage that's going to be freezing cold in the winter. You don't have a condition.
So you'd spray the inside of the garage.
So there's a couple of different ways of doing it. The simplest way is to just go below the subfloor, so like right under the floor truss. The best way to do it is to do a drop ceiling, make a conditioned space so that you've got hot cold return in there, and then insulate,
in the garage.
And then insulate. So between the garage and the bedroom, you're gonna have a warm air space. With the insulation down below that. Otherwise, what's going to happen? Sorry, I just scratched my mic there.
Mike's gonna be
shot by Mike. Otherwise, what's going to happen there is that cold garage, like, it's insulated. But your wife's going to be complaining about cold feet when she wakes up in the morning, and you've got this beautiful new house that we didn't, we skimped out on the insulation on, and all of a sudden now every winter I'm a little bit annoyed.
So
that
what I'm hearing is happy wife, happy life.
That's my happy partner, it's probably true.
Yeah, I can tell you it is.
Yeah. I wouldn't know. Still happily single. So like, yeah.
I'm telling you then.
Yeah, I'll make sure to remember that. I'm sure I'll hear it again sometime.
Yeah.
So for us, it's like just making sure that people know what to prioritize and where.
Yeah.
And then let them make the decision as to what's best for them. People are smart.
Yeah, I know.
If you give people the information, they'll do what, like that's.
No, and I think, I mean, obviously, you alluded to the fact that, in certain times contractors some people don't trust, but I mean, obviously your approach, I think, is very different. And the fact that you come in with a guidance with very specific, things that you would be correcting, I think goes a long way. You're not just trying to do an upgrade for the upgrade's sense. It's there's some valid things there in what you just said, that somebody who's building a custom home may say, I'll spend a couple $100 more and get that part
done. $100,
right? Am I being too frugal?
Maybe a little typical guy.
Okay.
But because it's
a couple of hundred Band-Aid and this.
It's the balance, right? Of like, like I want to make profit for my company.
Of course,
the client knows that.
Yeah.
So if I'm just coming in with all these upsells, like they're going to smell that a mile off.
Of course,
Of course. But at the same time, so it's, hey, here's what it's going to do to get it done. I do recommend doing X, Y, and Z. Here's why.
Yep.
Right. And then they'll make the decision themselves. Again, like, my approach to sales and working with clients is that, like, people are intelligent, and people, if people are given the correct information, they'll make the decision that works for them.
Right.
So that's a much more pleasurable approach to, like, the sales experience in business for me anyway. I don't have to
just be yourself. Exactly.
Just be honest, be transparent, educate people, and then they'll be empowered to make whatever decision.
I love that approach. So I mean, obviously, if I'm a small builder and I'm considering companies to hire for insulation, like what questions should I be asking? What should I be looking for? In terms of, if I'm talking to you and other competitors, should I just be focused on price? Should I be focused on, can you serve this area? How quickly? How many guys you have? Like, what questions typically do you suggest these clients ask of insulation companies to be able to make decisions on who to use?
So it's going to come down to price very often, right? Like, so that's where, like, money will talk on those. What you're really looking at is, like, the questions answer themselves. So, like, we look at things like quote turnaround time. Somebody gets us a set of plans. How quickly before we get that back to them, right? So, like, hey, when could you have this quote ready for? What's the duration that this project going to take? A big one is that, are they subcontracting this work out? Right. So is this Brian living in his apartment pretending he's got a business?
Right.
And basically quoting a job and then finding sub trades everywhere else. So it's, I do feel like subcontractors are great, don't get me wrong.
Of course.
But, like, who do I call then to get this fixed? Do I call Panda again? Do I call the guy that he hired in to do this? So it is definitely worth knowing, is the work done in-house? Or is it all subcontracted out? Because if you're hiring Panda, you're expecting that you're getting Panda's guys, not a guy who's working for 8 different companies.
Yeah, that's fair.
So you want to know if that's the case. All the material is going to be identical. We all buy from the same suppliers, and there's only a handful of people who manufacture the stuff.
Sure.
Right. You're going to have to be installed to code. You're going to have to be licensed to install. You're assuming that they have WSIB. You hope so. You hope that they're insured, so that if someone gets injured on your site, that they're actually that you're not going to be liable, or that you're minimizing risk.
Yep.
So, like, those are the things for me. It's when you're trying to compare against competitors, it's less so about what questions they're going to ask us, and it's more about, like, surmise how you're treated and how you're responded, right? Like, we'll reach out to people that, asking if we can quote a job.
Mhm.
It's like, oh yeah, we sent, like, or we get an estimate to them today.
Yep.
We reach out in 2 weeks. Oh, we're still waiting on one more quote. It's been 4 weeks.
Right.
Like, well, why are you even considering this competitor
Right.
that's taken a month to get you an estimate? Right. I can tell you right now, like we will put out on a custom home, we can turn around in same day typically is what we're looking at. So if someone sends us plans for a custom home quote,
Yep.
it's going out same day.
Yep.
And we're a small business. I know
Mhm.
big competitors have full estimating teams.
Right. Right.
And they're taking 3 weeks. So
Mm.
if it's taking 3 weeks to
Interesting.
get you an estimate,
Yeah.
do you think that it's going to be
Mm.
a cleaner process once you got to schedule prep work or schedule the install or schedule around inspection? Right?
Yeah.
No,
It
do
makes
they
a big difference. Yeah.
do they respond to emails? Do they follow up phone calls?
Mhm.
Those will answer. Those will tell you more about the company than any, insurance
Absolutely.
requirements, or like, because I can tell you, yeah, we'll be doing this in 3 days.
Yeah.
Like, sure, that sounds great. Or I can tell you we'll do it at a certain price,
Mhm.
and then I'll charge you out the wazoo at the end with markups and overages. So it's
Right.
I
Right.
think
Right.
I
Right.
think you let the service and let the engagement speak for itself. That will
Mhm.
tell you very quickly.
And I'm assuming referrals too, right? So if somebody refers you, and then it goes a long way. If somebody they know comes in a third-party validation, they've had a good experience with you.
That's where honestly, like most of our like new business comes from is
Yeah.
like, hey, I was talking to such and such a person. You guys
Right.
did their house,
Mm.
or hey, they built on this. Like construction is a very small niche,
Of course.
like any business, right? When
Yep.
we're discussing how small every niche is.
Absolutely.
So pretty quickly, whether you did a good job or a bad job, or you're a good guy or a great guy,
Mhm.
that gets out there.
Mhm.
So, if they're looking for pricing, ask around.
Yeah.
Hey, who did you use for your plumbing? Hey, who did you use for insulation? How was it? Give it
Yeah.
a shot.
Yeah.
Right. That's where a lot of our kind of new business tends to come from now.
Yeah. Referrals. I think most small businesses. I was talking to an SEO guy a couple of weeks ago, and that's what he said. I mean, the vast majority of small businesses, referrals is your number one lead source.
Yeah.
I mean, the rest, the SEO, all the other efforts are great, but they're only a complementary force to referrals.
Yeah.
Right. And the bigger you are, the better job you do, then the easier.
I would say almost in every kind of like, well, in service industry in particular.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the longer you've been there, the better service you're giving, then obviously, you benefit from the referrals. So it's yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Plus, you know
awesome.
what? Like we were chatting earlier about it. It's like if I know two great people
Yep.
in unrelated industries to me, best thing I can do is introduce them.
Absolutely.
Right? Like I want my circle to know great people.
Absolutely.
I want them to know each other.
Absolutely.
So, and also it always comes back in your benefits somewhere down the line.
Yeah, and it's one of the reasons why we started this podcast.
Yeah.
Was to essentially grow everybody's pie. If I know Brian and I use Brian for a few little things, but there may be somebody out there that has, they have custom home builder, and they need somebody to do that, then why not share? We do this video recording, and then we it gets replicated, duplicated, multiplied, and so on. You just never know.
Yeah.
Right.
And
so
that's
it helps everybody. Right.
That's what's fun.
Yeah.
Like,
absolutely.
It's so fun making an introduction that goes somewhere.
Absolutely.
It's so fun making a good referral that turns into a new relationship for someone. That's what, like, on the business side of I'm like, that's what's enjoyable. Meeting great people, introducing great people.
Yeah.
That's what you get excited about. Like
good
sitting at a computer all day is
You got the right attitude, man. Good for you.
Cheers.
Good for you. Good for you.
Yeah.
And in the work that you do, does it come with some type of warranty? Like, how does that work?
Yeah. So
or is it?
I'll tell you. So there's a couple of different ones. So manufacturers are going to have their product warranty. They can be tough because they'll go straight to like, well, it was installer error.
Of course.
Right. Super easy. Like, so it's they'll say, hey, 25-year warranty. And then you'll if there is an issue, like they don't want to have to pay out. Now, some of the companies that we use, they're great at it. Right. You're buying such high volume off them. They just honor the fact that, hey, this needs to get done.
Yep.
One of the great things I think of targeting a small business for using or selecting a small business is a 1-star Google review will crush my business. If I get 5, so in terms of a warranty, if you call me in 15 years time and say that we did your attic and there's a problem, I'll be sending somebody back to verify. And if there's an issue on our side of things, 10 times better just to fix that.
Absolutely.
And go ahead with it. Right.
Yeah.
Like that than try and then try and argue and say that no, that wasn't my fault. Dude, just go back and fix it.
That's right.
You know,
That's right.
so like officially we have like a 3-year warranty on our work.
Mm-hmm.
But I can guarantee you, if you call me in 6,
there was an issue.
The company's my baby. You want to take care, and you want to take care of these people who trusted you. Right. So it's
no, and I mean, and then those typically those decisions go a lot further because they know that again that they can trust you. Right. So good for you. You're talking about Google reviews. We were looking online before you were coming. So 139 reviews at 4.9.
Oh, yeah.
Why'd you get that 0.1 missing? No, I'm kidding.
Do you want to know why?
No, I want
two bad reviews.
Joke, but it's funny because I say 4.9 in service business is very tough to do in many cases because you can't make everybody happy in most cases, and some are reasonable. But
so 2 of those. They probably both named me, and I know which 2 they were. So remember I told you I used to be avoidant pleaser. 2 clients that I wasn't going to be able to take work on and was afraid to tell them. So I just essentially ghosted them, and I knew it, and it was looming over me. So it's like all I had to do was
that 0.1 is a lesson.
One of the best lessons I ever made, which is because those people are sitting there going, God, Brian came to see me, seemed like a great guy, said he was going to get me a quote, didn't get me a quote. I guess like he's just not interested. What's going on? And like, so this person's just left. Like, not only did I like complete waste of their time and effort and interest, complete waste of my money because I paid for those leads, complete waste of my time going to that to that lead. All I had to do was follow up. Hey, I'm actually not capable of delivering this project right now. You know who you should reach out to though is X company. They'll take great care of you. You know, or even better, loop in an email. Hey, you know, give them a call, follow up with an email. Hey, just introducing you to so-and-so over at competitor name Insulation. They'll be happy to take care of you. Great business. They've been around for a while. That might have got me.
I mean, I tip my hat to you because not everybody understands that. And for you to use that as a basics for how you're doing things. Good for you, man. Good for you.
Not always so wise.
What's that?
I said I'm not always so wise.
It's okay. We're all there. We're all human. So, but one last important question. So how long till we hit 10 million?
Secret.
Okay.
You're 5.
Okay.
You're 5.
So we're 2 years in. So 3 years.
We got it.
We're holding to you. Holding you to it.
Good
Good stuff.
Appreciate it, dude.
Thanks, Brian.
Thank you so much, man. Thanks a lot.